Hello, Married at First Sight, Australia, and episode 15.
Yeah, and we had the honeymoons and our final new couple for the season.
Yes, and something about Gia because Gia cannot get away from spotlight,
Oh, it has to have the attention, clearly.
and she will come up with anything.
How long do you think it'll be before that tattoo gets lasered off?
I don't think it will get lasered off because it's a very generic tattoo. It's a love symbol with some thorns around the love and number 13. It could be that she was on season 13.
Yeah, I don't know. But then again, it also, that question, once I'd asked it, it was kind of like, well, who would get it lasered off first, him or her? Or neither of them? Who knows?
That's what I'm talking
Anyway,
about. That's such a generic tattoo, you don't need to laser it off. If it's
yeah.
like each other's names or something, yes,
Yeah, I
I would
guess.
take that seriously. What they have done is showmans. Like they want the
Yep.
TV time, they got the TV time, and they got something nice for themselves so that they, as a memory for their MAFS season 13.
Yeah, I understand the nice motivations behind it. Like you say, the other side is the showman's, it's hogging the spotlight. Everybody else had like a nice little games afternoon or a floor picnic in the living room or dressed up as a French maid or whatever it might be. Scott and Gia go and get matching bloody tattoos.
Yeah,
And then Julia and Grayson. Well, what a way to mark their 1 month milestone.
yeah, I feel bad for Julia.
Why? I feel bad for Grayson.
Because Grayson is one of those dumb idiots.
Elaborate, please.
Because when he see first, Julia is not feeling it.
Yeah.
And she's somebody who is very much in touch with her emotion, attraction, and everything there is. And she's not feeling it. And it must have like took a really lot of courage to be proactive and tell him that. And the first thing you know what he says?
What?
Are you 100% in it?
Well,
Are you here for the right reasons? For him to get into a couple, all you need to do is bring coffee in the morning and do whatever things a person do as a maid, and then you should fall in love. That's his idea. And he's like, I came here to find love. No, don't be an idiot.
well, he
That's
did
not.
though.
Yeah, but
It's
that's
very
not.
simplistic for him. He went there to find love. He was hoping to have romance and, what he considered to be real intimacy, lasting relationship. And instead he got what he feels is someone that didn't really put in any effort whatsoever and just wasted his time, and he's understandably disappointed and hurt.
And a sore loser.
Well,
It's one of those things. For her, intimacy is different, for her
yeah, it's
putting
very
in effort
different.
is different, and the way she has written everything on a book and
Yeah, well,
put all her things so that she could proactively tell him what it is and everything.
about the book.
Yes.
I thought the whole lead up to before she was reading the letter was really nice. She explained how much it important to her that she communicates how she feels and what she thinks, and that basically like writing letters is one of her love languages, and it made it sound like it was going to be this really lovely warm letter with like good feeling, and then she starts and it kind of goes down that avenue and then rapidly turns around and goes, but actually, I'm not really feeling it. The connection is not growing. So I'm following my intuition and putting myself. And that in itself is fine. It's just the way that the letter's just done a 180 from sounding like it was going
I
down
mean, it's
a really nice path to, and by the way, this isn't working for me. So
I
mic
mean, it's
drop.
the social standard of the world right now. Before you say a bad thing, you say a good thing just to even it out. So let's not read
Yeah.
too much
Oh,
into it.
it is, but also, maybe it's just personal preference. Sometimes I wonder whether it's better to just come right out and say the bad thing. It would be more shocking. It would probably be more hurtful, but in the long run, it might be better. However, I understand she's tried to soften the blow, like many people do. Equally, it's better the way she did it than with a shit sandwich, where it's something nice, something bad, something nice.
Yeah, but I mean, at least she is somebody who is true to herself, and that's someone very hard to find on the
Well, that's something that people cannot say about Julia, is it? That
yeah,
she's not true to herself,
yeah,
that she doesn't put herself first each and every moment of every day.
yes. No, it's one of
Reading
those
between the
things.
lines there, that
I
she
do
puts herself
understand.
over and above everybody and everything else.
I do understand, but it's one of those things. Grayson seems to be one of those, I don't know, one of those tools. Is he helpful in the real world? Yes. But does he have any emotional intelligence? No. The way he dealt with it, like every time she kind of says something, he suddenly goes to, is she here for the right intentions? Are you here for the right? Do you fucking know what love is?
Yeah.
When you are questioning about putting into effort, why are you talking about bringing coffee every day? Because please, if that's the case, all the rich people should be in love with their maids, not their wives.
Yeah, I understand. I get where you're coming from with that one.
And on
I
the
mean,
same,
even if you're not rich, if you go to the Starbucks drive through every day like some people do you fall in love with your baristas?
I think some
No.
people do.
Not for the sole reason that they bring you coffee each day.
Yeah, but what I mean to say, this man has nothing behind his eyes. There is nothing
Yeah,
emotionally anything about him. He's a good looking lad. He has a decent career, but that's about it. And that is why he's.
yeah, probably that and his facial expressions.
Yeah, and with the same note, let's go to the Sheldon without genius.
Sheldon without genius. Joel and Juliet.
Joel and Juliet. And you can see the same thing with Juliet too, because the mothers and the sons relationship and their speeches are not social. And when they
Yeah.
are not social, it created a bit of awkwardness in the crowd, and she felt the awkwardness. And what does she do?
Asked him about it.
No. The first thing she does is she says that he's here for the wrong reasons.
She questioned it. I think it's fair. I don't think she based that purely off other people's judgment and reactions.
No, it's
It
the
made her
thing.
feel uncomfortable first, and that's what's important to go by.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. If you don't like someone, let's label them as that. That's something I'm seeing across the people, and it might be something in the collective. Like if it's not desirable or if it's not something, let's call it the bad person.
Maybe that's just the what's the word? Maybe that's just a symptom of success for maths. The show's been successful for so many years. Maybe the relationships themselves haven't been successful, but the show has. And maybe that's just, one of the consequences that it's been going for so long. Some people have had fame afterwards and brand deals and like media careers afterwards. And I know that number internationally is small, so we only find out about a very small number of those. But yeah, maybe that seed of doubt is in everybody's minds now when they go on the show, and
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
will.
it's a chronic thing. It's just going to continue. That question's going to be there for everybody in every season going forward. Are you here for the right reason? Are you here for love and the experience, or are you here for fame and something else? What's your primary motivation?
Yeah, I'm not saying that everybody there is there because they want some kind of
No, but I
fame,
think I get what you
but
mean. Like
yeah,
everybody's jumping to that question as soon as they see or hear something they maybe don't quite like, or
exactly.
puts that person in a position where they look like their primary motivation isn't that relationship. And I get it, but also maths has been running for that long.
Yeah,
Everybody
but
wants their fame and
no,
the TV time. So yeah, it's a fair
I'm not
question,
saying
even if it
I'm
is a bit
not
frustrating.
saying anything about the maps and all. I'm just talking about some of the people when things are not going as they want, they jump in and question the others.
Yeah,
What do you say, intentions and everything, while they are aware they are there for the very same intentions. All I'm saying is you don't like Joel, totally understandable. You don't find Joel as attractive, that's wonderful, but stop, what do you say,
don't immediately jump to that conclusion.
it's more than jumping to a conclusion. It's kind of the, what is the word that's called, social bullying. Like you're making him a scapegoat because you don't like how he's coming off as, or he's not, what do you say, socially doing something that he's supposed to be doing. Because with the case you're talking about, Juliet, we can say all the people in the Epstein files, they are socially very charismatic, rich, and nice people. So, this has to be kind of, yeah, I think you just have to be not that shallow. If somebody has quirkiness, that's all right. It's about trying to understand them rather than judging them.
Yeah, I get that. I can understand it. I think when they had that conversation, maybe for some viewers like me, maybe it's a case of you had to be there and I'm not there because I'm watching it, what, like, But when he was defending his intentions for being on the show, I personally didn't feel like he was particularly convincing. But again, it might just be his unusual to me personality, and you probably had to be in the room to feel that sense of whether he's genuine or not.
No,
Because
the
sometimes you need that in a conversation to be in the room to feel whether someone's genuine.
Yeah, but it also depends on the people because
Yeah,
what you are looking is for a convincing answer, and there are people that just know how to generate that convincing.
yeah,
We have seen like Danny, the street smart. The kind of date he
mhm.
threw for back is really beautiful, and he has a way of making the other woman feel like she's the only one in the. He has it, but he's full of shit. Like if people like him, but
Oh yeah, the way they showed that clip from the dinner party where he was like, "What's one of my sayings? The eyes never lie." Well, the eyes might not lie, but they might. Who knows? It's the rest of his facial expressions when he was saying that was like, "Oh, I need to try and get away with this one." It said something different to what he was trying to convey anyway.
yeah, and
So,
as I said, the date he threw was really beautiful. The is
oh
really
yeah, that
beautiful.
living room floor picnic, it was really sweet. And then like he just kept coming, didn't he, with like the flowers and the card, and she was thrilled. She even said she's falling in love with him.
Yes, it's just one of those things. You are across. What is the word for somebody that's not real but makes it look like real, like too good to be true? He's like a mirage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back he's like a mirage, but I think she'll understand it. And then, the Gia's greatest thing,
What?
greatest superpower. Back even talked about Gia on this show when they haven't met today's episode.
Oh yeah. She lives rent free in Beck's head.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Gia doesn't give a shit. She just says it and moves on to the next thing.
Gia doesn't give a shit about anyone other than
Gia.
Gia. Okay, and then let's move on to Steven and Rachel. They did their. I don't know what it is, but
Well, they were playing a game, weren't they? And
yeah, it's just I don't know what it is, but I hate Rachel. I don't know
oh
what it
no,
is.
why?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking
Is it
about.
a feeling? Is it just like
It's an
a
emotion, yeah.
yeah?
Every time she comes onto the TV screen, I want to do something like throwing an egg or a tomato on her face.
Oh my god.
I don't know, it's not, as I said, I don't know what it is about because it's not about. There is something about Harry which is so annoying. But we'll move on to the other couples. Alyssa
Yeah.
and David, they're having their fun. And then we have. Who are the other couples?
Philip and Stella, they're fine. Everything's the same. Nothing's
Yeah, they are
changing.
still in the love bubble. Like they are the only couple that are in like super romantic love bubble. I mean, if there is a news that comes out that Philip is a psycho killer, I don't think she'll believe it. Even if there is evidence and video, she'll think that it's AI. There is nothing
And what
that
it,
could divide them.
and what about the three girls getting together? Mel, Mel, Stella, Rachel, all getting together for a promotional KFC lunch where they supposedly talk about date ideas. It was only when I saw a TikTok about a week and a half ago, and someone was saying about the product placement in MAFS. One of them showed like KFC in the background, but I don't think we've seen that bit yet. But we've had KFC with Scott and Gia. We've now had it in this girls' lunch. Apparently, there's like another scene where one of the girls has got like a chemist warehouse carrier bag that's conveniently held up so you can clearly read what it says. So they're definitely
I don't know why they waste money. I
pushing
mean,
all of these in. Well, it's not wasting money, is it? Really, it's getting money for the show.
no, I'm talking about KFC and all because
Oh,
I don't know if there is anybody that doesn't. Okay, it's like
yeah.
Yeah, and then market share and all. Do something nice with chicken, but let's move on.
It might
And
be one of those things, though. You see it in the next night maths, and you go, "Ooh, FC much maths." Who knows? Anyway, back to Juliet and Joel introducing Teddy. What are your thoughts on the Teddy?
I think it's really sweet.
I'm kind of conflicted. Yesterday I
Why
was a
is
bit
that?
like, "Oh God, come on," and today I'm a bit like,
No, the thing is, this is where all the feminists and
yeah.
everything really does my head in, because if a woman does that, oh, that's really sweet, really cute. And when a man does that, what's wrong with him? He's still a child, he has to grow up.
No, I
You know,
think.
as women,
Wait,
you want
wait.
equality or not?
I don't think it's a difference for gender. For me, from my perspective personally, have a teddy, have 1,000 teddy. For me, it's about the role that teddy plays in your life. If that teddy is potentially playing the role of all of your friends and family except for your mum, and you introduce your teddy as an additional partner to your new wife
Okay.
and highlight that that teddy plays quite a central role in your life, that has a few warning lights flashing for me, just because it's like, well, there's nothing wrong with having a teddy, but he's talked about that teddy a hell of a lot in only 2 episodes, and he's not in every moment of every show. So they've shown a lot about this teddy and talked a lot about it, as have we now.
See, I'm not going to talk about the edit, but I have seen tons of MAFS participants, especially women, bringing their teddy into the bed or talking about their teddy, which shouldn't raise a batting eyelid. But a man who brought a teddy, and there is something different about this teddy, it's almost worn out. So, this is a man that has loyalty to things. All the women that have brought teddies, it's almost like a new thing, like they get teddies and then it's like a character, or they like the new teddies. This teddy is as old as him. It's so worn out, you can see most of the fabric coming out,
Yeah,
but he stuck to it. That's some loyalty.
I'm
This
just not
is
going to
where I'm
go there.
talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You have something made up about him, and everything that comes about him comes through a native filter. I'm sorry, you are biased.
Maybe in a similar way that you're by. I don't want to hurl egg TV when I see him.
I know that I'm biased about Rachel. I'm kind of telling you that that's my emotion. I don't know why. But here you're trying to rationalize your biases, and I'm not. That should mean something.
Anyway, by the time they got through to like day 7 of the honeymoon, it seems to be going really well for them, which is great.
Because he's a very decent lad, if you have seen
Yeah,
during the honeymoon of about what they show. He's a decent lad. One thing he and his mother both do not have is they don't have the social decorum. If you see it on a negative thing, or if you want to see it on a positive, they don't give a fuck about what others think.
yeah, maybe. I think clearly he's a different type of character, generally speaking.
Authentic.
Fine. But okay, comparative to the majority of the other participants in maths this year, he's a very different type of character.
Very authentic. Let's move on. No.
And I am starting to wonder if part of what's making him look so different is down to the edit. Not that he isn't being true to himself, but maybe that during editing they decided we'll play up these quirkier, goofier parts of his personality and things that he says, rather than showing more of that kind, gentlemanly side that he's clearly got. Because we've only seen like a tiny of it.
Yeah, I mean, she's
We've seen like
willing to kiss
98%
him,
of the
cuddle.
goofiness.
Yeah, but what you have to understand is it has been day 7. She has been with him and she has seen a different side, and they are having some cuddles, maybe a kiss, but it just shows that whatever that was portrayed by the audience, everything, all the projections, he's a decent guy.
Yeah.
Yes, in social thing, he's a bit of a clown, but so what?
Yeah.
You want a macho guy, and this woman is the woman who has this in her wedding vows that says everybody is a freak,
She
and
embraces it.
she
Yeah.
embraces it, and she got a bit of a freak, and then she's like, oh no.
I think maybe there's a freakiness spectrum, and maybe she sits a little bit more on the freakier side than the majority of people, and maybe he sits a bit closer to the top end of that spectrum, and she's like, whoa, I didn't realize things could get that freaky, but I do like most of it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. So let's move on to the gay guys.
Sam and Chris, our last couple of the season.
Who is the younger one?
Remember?
Who is the one that's
I
tall?
I think Sam's the younger guy and Chris is the expectant father.
Alright, so Chris, he's you can see that there is drama about him. That it's like,
Really?
yeah, very much. The way I don't understand the things about first things, both are rich kids. Doesn't mean that they don't work, they work, but they're rich kids. And the way Chris talked about, oh, I am a donor to your kid.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you're a donor, so it's all right. And then all the show he's talking as if he's a co-parent.
Mm,
What exactly? If he's a co-parent, he should be he's a really awful person to be on the show, because even though you're not like married to the mother, but your kid is coming out in the next 2 months, maybe you should be there as.
yeah. Yeah, that's one thing we don't really know enough about yet, whether he's going to be co-parent or if he is just a donor for this lesbian couple he's close to.
If he's a donor,
But
that's all
from
right.
the way he's talking about it, that child is going to be very much in his life from day one. You know, it's already part of his life and the baby's not born yet.
No, this
And
is
then only a few months, really, until next year when his next child is going to be born, you know?
that's
He's
what
not.
I'm talking
Mm.
about. This is so convoluted with him. He looks drama like.
He's got a much more accelerated timeline for starting a family than Sam, and Sam's obviously said, next year will be too soon for me, and it's literally like a matter of weeks until it's a reality for Chris.
No, this is what I'm talking about. Is he actually starting a family? Is it a co-parent, or is it just a donor? There is nothing about it. If he is a co-parent, he's an awful person. If he is a donor, he's a donor that making it bringing drama in the name
Yeah.
of
Yeah, well, we don't know enough about that to be able to determine, do we, and say anything
because
else.
because he's making it like a thing.
Maybe.
And the other one, Sam, is it the
Sam is a really tall, dark.
yeah, innocent guy? I just don't think he has any nuancing. One thing I like is whatever MAFS think, two negative poles and two positive poles never work out.
What you mean, like Tyson and Stephanie seem like they were aligned on one side?
Will come
Yeah, we will come back to
will
them. And
come
Sam
back
and
to
Chris
their.
seem incredibly aligned on so many things in their life.
Yeah, Sam and Chris, who is the elder one is feminine, the younger one is masculine, and also that I don't know the extroversion of things. I just don't know if many extroverts are. What do you say?
You think they'd mesh well together or not?
Well, I won't mesh. I don't think it's easy to mesh well with Chris anyway, and this guy Sam would have no clue about. Those relationships. Sam is that guy in those relationships where his partner will be going through a shit time
Right.
and he won't have a clue about.
What makes you say that though? How come you've got suddenly some like really harsh judgment and we don't really know anything about him yet?
No, I mean it's not harsh judgment.
It sounds like a harsh judgment.
No, it's not
Basically saying
harsh
this guy
judgment.
is completely ignorant to what's going on around him.
Well, emotionally, yes, he's ignorant.
How do you know? It's not really focused on him much at all. It did the usual introduction of
During
him and his family, and then the rest of it from then on has been the wedding. Will Chris tell Sam about the kids? No. The honeymoon. Will Chris tell Sam about the kids? No. And then back to
so
Tyson and Stephanie, and that's it.
So Chris, I mean it's in his face, but also when Chris having some discussion about some of a very nuanced topics about the kids, family, this thing, that thing, and all.
Yeah.
I think he got stuck with one point and he just talked about one point. That's completely, what do you say? That's almost not out of the context. He got stuck with a point and he talked about
Yeah.
doesn't people don't have the difference is some people they don't have it and they find somebody with.
Right, and it balances
emotional
out or
and
not?
balances out, and they trust to be the emotion.
Yeah,
That's the femininity and masculine concept. Masculinity is about what needs to be done, that needs being physically driven,
right,
and femininity is a emotional balancing anchor. What most people do is one of them are masculine and one of them are feminine, and they both give what is needs,
right.
like sugar. And but what happens is, Chris, I think
Okay, interesting.
there are two things. One thing, either you say it or you slide it. You slide it down so softly that nobody hears it, nobody knows it. That's not something you need to be like bring it back again
What
and
do you mean
again,
slide it
again,
down? I don't really get what you mean by slide it down. Right, okay.
or disamplify it, like,
So just say it and get it all out there, or
or
keep your mouth shut.
yeah, keep your mouth shut or make it less of an issue than it is.
Right,
And Chris knows how to do that, but he doesn't because why? He likes drama and attention. Like,
right, okay. Maybe.
and
I don't know why, but I'm surprised that you formed such strong opinions about them both so fast.
I have been doing that all the shows, just that you have noticed now.
No, I just feel like it's particularly fast and particularly strong for these two.
Yeah, it's just that there is nothing behind that Sam and then Chris, he made it about this like thing which is again and again about the center of the.
Yeah. I mean, oh, it's tough because the kids will be the center of his world and he's kind of already positioning them there and they're not born yet. If oh,
If
I was gonna say if one's not born till next year, but actually with the timeline of filming that's irrelevant, so never mind.
I mean, if there is a kid that you know you will be co-parenting is coming,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah. No, I get it. I get where you're coming from with that because it is a questionable concept and
and
it
if that
has
is really happening, why would you say it?
I don't know. Well, like during his audition, they showed the clip, didn't they, where he was talking to John, and he said, it's something I usually say very, very early on to kind of get out the way and gauge where things are at. And he's doing the opposite right now. John was like, "Oh yeah, you're being authentic," and he's like, "Exactly." And he's doing the opposite of that right now because he's scared, probably because it's potentially questionable judgment of whether you go on to Married at First Sight, knowing that you're going to be a co-parent potentially. We're making that assumption, aren't we? You're going to be a co-parent in a matter of weeks after your wedding, and your new partner is just going to have to deal with the situation or bail. They're the only two options that are given to the partner.
Yeah, and also, what about him being there for the child?
Yeah, because they're a month in, so if that kid's supposed to be born in 2 months, well, at the end of those 2 months when the kid's meant to be born, he's coming to the end of the experiment. You know,
Yeah, this is what I'm
the
talking about.
timing's just all crap.
It's dramatic, it's so convoluted, and it's one of those things. Let's say he really has a kid that he wants to co-parent in 2 months,
Yeah.
and he has got the wonderful opportunity to be on a national TV.
Mm-hmm.
Come on the national TV, your honeymoon, and go by week. What do you do? Do what every other narcissistic bitches in the TV show do. You make it a lot of news and you create so much
You
or live
create something from
gracefully.
next to nothing just
Yeah,
to have a bit of buzz.
yeah. So you can also live like you can't be saying all good, and say, oh,
Yeah.
you have to. If you want to have fun, have fun. Everything is all right. It's just that don't come on national TV and say, oh, I'll be becoming father in 2 months and I have sacrificed that. Nobody asked you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is what Chris, it's drama and there is something off, and which I just don't see. You just don't know what to ask a person or anything. It's
Maybe. Maybe that's why he's single and has been for however long. He tends to maybe keep things superficial and just
I don't think
that's
there is
it.
anything beyond it. If you ask him to look after a gym, he might. If you ask him to look after another gym or farm, but if you ask him to look after somebody's gym, he will fail. That's
Alright.
what. And then let's come to the.
Tyson and Stephanie.
You know what I like? Chris left and what they gave me.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is something about these guys I actually like.
Well, Tyson has further solidified his position in the manosphere. I think Stephanie's hit the nail on the head. I think I kind of get the sense that she's trying to explore what it is that really like makes him tick, so she can learn about him and figure out what it is he actually wants in a partner. Because it's clearly not her.
Because she's masculine, I think he has
Oh,
got.
you as well with the masculine thing.
Yeah, I agree with all the. See, with Tyson,
Yeah.
he's a guy that he says what he thinks or feels. There is no filter. Like while some of the things he say are like I don't know, absolutely bollocks.
Yeah.
Some of the things he got what he a woman that can never be in a relationship apparently for whatever reason because she's decently good looking, she has a decent career, cannot get in.
Can't or has chosen not to previously.
See, if you have chosen not to, then maybe try running in your park and not on Olympic stage. If you are really that person,
Yeah.
practice in your local pubs, practice in your local clubs, maybe supermarket. If you cannot go to clubs, try to talk to your man, try to find
Yeah.
some kind of connection. Don't come to maps and say, "Oh, I'm here for love." I don't buy. You want to be on TV, or you are incredibly stupid with your successful career to think that you could come on this maps and the judges who screw 90% of the people will be nice to you, and you are so smart and you just didn't look at the status. You wanted to be on TV, be on TV. That's all right. You are as bad as Tyson, except Tyson is not somebody that, how do you say, knows how to talk in social, because probably most of very manosphere thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. But no, I think she hit the nail on the head. He doesn't want someone who's going to challenge him or his beliefs whatsoever. He appears, like from the wedding, he appears to surround himself with people who think, act, and believe the same way he does, in the same things he does, and very much support him in what he wants and what he believes. So she's come along initially like, actually, maybe we're aligned a bit because she doesn't want woke shit and neither do I. And then immediately she asks questions.
That's where it
Wait.
ends.
And then immediately she asks questions and makes comments. I think she bruised his ego or really wounded his pride with that house husband comment because he brought that up today.
Yes.
He brought that up again. So that's a bit of a sore spot for him that he's not willing to let go. I thought she just said that as a throwaway comment, like, you want me to be like this, but would you consider it? Probably not.
Yeah, but he has told his position, like what he wants, where he sees, and all. And for her to bruise his, it's just
No,
neither
she
you
didn't mean it to hurt his
nor
pride or
she.
bruise his ego.
I don't
But
think
but
she
that
knows.
but that's the way he took it. He's so sensitive about anyone challenging any of his beliefs or wants or having a different opinion to his own that he just sees it as a slight,
Okay,
a
now,
challenge that is like anti Tyson. Whereas actually, whether it changes his beliefs or not is incredibly unlikely. But he could take the opportunity to just actually talk it through like an adult rather than just like somebody who's wounded at the slightest hint of someone disagreeing with him.
yes.
He just wants yes men. He wants a woman who's going to be the ultimate yes man without the masculinity that's exactly as she described, falling at his feet to treat him like a king, not a slave, because he made it clear he doesn't want a slave, but falling at his feet to treat him like a king, to cook for him, to be barefoot and pregnant constantly by the sounds of it, and just,
Okay, you know what I think?
what?
You masculine bitches do not understand men at all. Because Chris is the same way. If you have seen the very first interview, he's far worse.
How? Which Chris? Chris that's gone?
Chris that's gone.
Okay.
Very far worse. His three X are fat people, clingy, and fake tan.
Yeah.
He's far worse. The only
Oh, no.
difference is,
No. He's not far worse. Those
why
things
not?
were not good. But
Why not far worse?
those three icks are very judgmental and some people would say degrading of women. Okay? let's it's not fine, but let's just say fine and move on. Tyson is far worse because he doesn't just have three icks that are purely based on physicality. They are he wants a woman who's submissive, so basically someone who'll do almost anything he says without challenge, someone who will not bring him a challenge, someone who will just, yes, dear, no, dear, what do you think, dear?
Okay, again,
Let me do what you ask, dear.
again, again.
No, it's not about masculinity and
No, it is
femininity.
because give Stephanie
No,
to Chris. Chris will look even worse. You do not understand the concept of femininity and masculinity, which is right. He got that understanding of masculinity and femininity. Does he need to do some work on himself? Yes.
is he ever going
But
to? No, because he thinks he is
yes,
God's gift to the world and that he's absolutely perfect and he's right about everything and everyone and he can never be wrong. Even down to the way that he tried to quote unquote apologize. He returned from the gym with the plan to apologize to her, and he was just like, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that the way that I did. Let's start afresh. Okay. He didn't actually say sorry. He didn't actually say I apologise
but he
and wanted to
admitted.
move on, and then immediately started bringing up the stuff that caused the disagreement in the first
Oh,
place,
no, that's her.
blamed her. No,
That's
he
her.
he brought it up again.
No, that is her
Let me
because she
finish,
started
please.
talking about masculinity and femininity.
Tyson,
I
let me
mean,
finish my sentence, please.
no, Steph.
No, he brought it up. She didn't mention it. She didn't mention it once. Every time it came up, he brought it up. And then he blamed her for bringing it up. And it's like, she didn't. She didn't mention it. He kept bringing it to the forefront of conversation. If he really wanted to move on, he would have said his shit apology without apologizing, asked to start afresh, and then shut the fuck up from that point. But he didn't.
Because she kept
He
taunting him.
no,
She
she's
did.
trying to have a
No, she
conversation.
doesn't. No, this is what I'm talking about. There are people that understand the social roots, what you can say. But she, Stephanie, I don't think she's great because at some point, yes, he knows what he wants. He knows what he wants about his wanting a submissive wife and all. If everyone talks about their dream scenario of a wife, like ideal wife
Yeah.
or an ideal husband, everything will be back or there will be nothing social or nice about it. Like Mel's fairy tale, there are like tons of things.
Okay, there's a difference between having an idealized version of a partner and living in La La Land, which is where Mel was a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, that's going off track.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is the producer screwed this. Tyson, yes, maybe he needs to learn how to talk before people, maybe a bit like what he could say and what he could not say. But having said that, Stephanie hasn't learned a thing in her.
Maybe not, but like she keeps saying, she hasn't really had any for a long time.
And why do
I
you guess it is? Do you think she's not good looking?
I just think she hasn't bothered to pursue any.
I mean, then
She
why all
keeps
of a
talking
sudden?
about her walls being so high. Maybe she just hasn't pursued any.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you haven't walked for so long, go to a park and walk. Don't come to the Olympics because although she's getting a good at it, I think she's not.
Maybe
Tyson,
not.
with I don't think he's ready in the sense of almost ready. But if you give like a very very good strong feminine woman, he's in
Wait.
his.
What do you mean by strong feminine woman?
So
Because
there is,
Stephanie is a strong woman.
but not feminine. There is nothing femininity about her.
So when you say strong feminine, what do you mean?
See, there is a way of, let's say, if you're a man who says, who is very masculine
Right.
of things and what a masculine woman does is she kinds of, you're carrying a suitcase, I'll carry a suitcase. She competes like that. You know what a feminine does? Feminine woman, strong feminine.
What?
She gives her three suitcases and say, "Oh, you are so strong. Why don't you carry?" She puts more load on him.
Right.
That's the way she challenges him. It's very. The next time he wants to be boast about masculinity, he'll be changing a person. I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. Both Stephanie and you are, and you do not understand how it kind of could be strong without being in the face and competitive. She doesn't know and she's triggering and she's him to be the bad guy. But what I'm saying is Stephanie, she just came on. I don't know because she applied or
I don't know. I feel like they were maybe matched because he maybe he needs someone to challenge his beliefs a little bit.
no, that's what I'm talking about. You can always, there are ways to challenge. When masculinity challenges, nothing happens but a war. The challenge has to come from femininity, and femininity challenge doesn't look like a challenge because there is no war. It's always so internal, so subtle.
Oh, so instead of questions like, oh, I can't think of one now, but instead of like a direct question, she's supposed to go, oh, whatever do you think about this, dear?
No, it's not things like that.
Did you ever think it could possibly be different, dear?
No. See,
Exactly.
no, because you fucking don't know what femininity is. Because you fucking don't understand what femininity is. Stop saying that
Give
this is
give me an example of a
exactly. I'll tell
question.
you. He wanted 5 kids.
Yeah?
During the first kids, you make him run a mile up and down again and again, again and again. By the time second kid, he'll be like, and then by the time second kid is over for the third kid, the feminine woman will go and, oh, what about a third kid? And he'll be like, less.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
I mean
sure
to
he
say
won't
is,
because you could try and make a man like Tyson run a mile again and again and again, but he won't do it. He'll be too busy at the gym for a minimum of 2 hours every day because, in his words, this rig needs a lot of maintenance. It's almost like a Ferrari. You want to buy it, but you better
no,
not
man,
touch it.
boasting. No, no, this is what I'm talking about. You and Stephanie are like, I don't know, miserable masculine bitches because men like to boast about things doesn't mean that they always boast about things. If there is nothing about him that wants a intimacy and a relationship, he won't for it again and again. The way some people put bravado, even the people that have bravado, even Chris, all it needed is one moment kind of fall on.
Let me remind you of something you're failing to bear in mind is that there is a population of men, not all men, there is a population of men around the world, multiple cultures and nationalities, so it's not unique anywhere, where the man will be very keen to have a wife, submissive and feminine or not. Okay, put that aside. Like, yeah, yeah, we'll have kids. Let's have kids. I really want a family with you. Let's build this wonderful family. Doesn't matter whether it's one kid or 10. That man doesn't do a damn thing despite wanting to do everything else to be the masculine man in the family. You know?
Okay, this
It's
is where
your no, so your theory of saying, oh, make him run a mile every day again and again once they've got one kid. I don't know whether he's the kind of man to do that or not. There is the possibility that she's a stay at home mum now. That's her job. And that's how some men see it. And some families it works, some families it doesn't. But you're making the assumption that he will just go, yeah, yeah, I'll help, darling. It'll be fine. We'll do this
no, no,
together.
no. The thing is, nobody can predict anyone's future, and I know how you're talking about some man, and I don't want to talk about women who put false allegations and on men, and I don't want to talk about
We're not talking
women
about that. We're talking
because
purely about the family aspect.
no, because these are also because she looks like kind of woman who might be on relationship, make something up, or give divorce after. She's so independent because independence is so important for her. I don't
You are the only one getting into that element of discussion.
because
Nobody else is having that conversation.
you brought something up that has nothing to do with this.
It
Is Sam a good
does.
guy? Is Tyson a good guy? I don't know. Is he a bad guy? I don't know. Is he gonna abuse his? Is he gonna be nice to the wife? I don't know. You don't know as much. What I know is when a woman comes in life, people are right woman with somebody like Stephanie. who is like a bitchy bitch. People are bitch towards.
You're making an assumption that in your words she's a bitchy bitch.
She is
You just see
because
that she's very, very masculine in your view.
she's very
Wait,
competitive. She's very
wait.
triggering.
Let me
I'm
finish.
sorry. The very thing
No.
she talks about all the equality until it comes to the bed. Suddenly she's like, I'll take the bed. Why? You talk about independence and everything, and suddenly that's why he also asks, maybe I'll take the bed. And she's like,
Why are you so vexed by all of this? Why are you getting so worked up?
because to your head you're not getting it. Okay, let me ask you two things.
No,
No, no,
no,
let me ask you
no.
something.
If you're going to talk over me, I'm just going to talk over you, and we're not going to get anywhere, and it's going to be an even worse listen for anyone that actually ever bothers to listen to this,
Yeah, all right.
right?
Let me ask you.
No,
Yeah,
you came with that suggestion that, you know, if they're successful in this relationship and they go on to have a kid, she should then just make him work like super hard.
that's
And
what femininity does. It's not
wait,
about that's
wait,
what how femininity challenges. I'm not saying that somebody should be doing. I'm talking about the difference between femininity and masculinity, how it's
you
other
need to view
masculinity.
things outside of those two lenses, because it sounds like everything you're discussing is only through those two lenses. There is a bigger picture at play.
Which is
If you can't put aside the masculinity versus femininity argument, you're not going to have a full picture of the relationship.
no, the thing is the day you
You don't
bring.
need to shout into your microphone. You're getting really
Why
worked
don't
up.
you?
Why?
Yes, because you are not getting it. Why don't you try and get two north poles of two different magnets each other, make them not repel? This is as hard as that masculine.
But if you can just ignore that for a minute, they both have things that they could gain from each other. And I think that's why they were matched. She needs someone who's got a bit of relationship experience because she has none. She needs someone who could maybe allow her to soften a little bit and be more feminine because he's very masculine. He needs someone who, at times, but not all of the time, can challenge him so he's not so fixed in this must be this way, this must be that way. You know, he does want someone who's submissive, but is he actually able to manage with someone who's not as submissive as he likes? Probably. Is he willing to tolerate it straight away? Absolutely not. They could both bring the opposite of what the other person thinks they want, and it could balance out and work well.
No, no, there is nothing about her that balances. First thing, she has been like 32. She doesn't know what even through his failed miserable relationships, he has an understanding of what he needs. And when somebody asks what is your ideal car, you will be like, I want 340 horsepower and then two jet engines and
Two jet engines.
yeah, like that's what idealistic car when people talk like that, because that's how he talked about women, like yes, everything. But does that mean you'll wait for something that's almost perfect? Not like, the thing is, if he was given somebody that's feminine and someone that's decent, like, I have nothing against Stephanie, don't get me wrong. The only thing I have against her is she doesn't have the relationship experience, she doesn't have the understanding, be honest.
Yeah.
Let's keep it at that. And then she's kind of what do you
Is she deliberately rage baiting?
she knows she walks in.
I think she knows she's trying to challenge him, but I don't think she's trying
It's
to rage bait.
that's what I'm talking about. Why do you what makes you think challenging a person is the right?
Is it okay to just let someone blindly believe something that's contradictory, for example? I can't remember the example she gave, but
What she said is, see,
she called
she's
out something
so
she saw
dumb.
as a contradiction.
She's so dumb.
Stop judging.
No, I'm not judging.
You're being really, really derogatory. You've called her a bitchy bitch, you've called her dumb, you've called her all kinds. It's okay that you don't like her, but can you stop judging her and calling people names?
See, the thing is, yes, because what I'm talking about, two types of Tyson and Chris that have a filter, they aren't actually PR trained to be what is to be, is not to. But people like both Chris, Tyson is like on most of them end up, while some of them having multiple divorces. Keep that. And then you have people like Stephanie, who is like more or less PR trained because she works with men and she knows what
Yeah.
she's almost PR trained, and then she comes and not a clue about her relationship or any relationship. She comes and says, "Oh, because I'm masculine, do you feel emasculated?" Something like this, some guy shit. Like he has no under of what a relation, but she knows what is social things are like, what is collective morality, how you can make say look good
Right.
or look bad, and she's very much dealing into it instead of maybe understanding a man because she fails to understand men at all. For him, he has his views. This is what I'm talking about. His views, most of them are maybe he doesn't. He needs a feminine woman, but a strong woman. But the thing is, strong feminine people are submissive, look submissive because they are so subtle. They would be like they know how to get done. They know how to change without a war. It's like soft
Right.
and it works like family. And the way he's being demonized, I don't like the edit. And the way I don't know if she felt reject. He feels like he's a catch. I think
You want to go marry Tyson?
if I marry Tyson, he'll be. That's all I'll say.
Why? Because you'll be your feminine energy.
I know
You'll be
how
the
to.
submissive feminine that he's really after. I don't know. Something you said though is intriguing because you're saying like, oh, maybe people like Tyson, they've not had media training. They don't really know how to kind of say the right thing. Do you not think that everything he says is very well calculated? Because I certainly have noticed it.
He did his
Even
best.
even down to the way that he says things to Stephanie. He doesn't necessarily say anything negative, but it's exactly what she said. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. And there's a lot of people in the world that don't seem to understand that concept.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
It's like
She
if
is
you were
like
to say
media
something to
trained. Yeah.
someone that was like, I don't know, like the ultimate slight, but because you said it in such a subtle way and implied it with your tone, a lot of people around, if they're not switched on, they wouldn't have any idea about the negative intentions behind that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand it, and I don't know. This is what just that 5 kids is like. Oh, I need to push a kid. This and that. Please, a lot of men want kids. What do you think? Like, if you want to find a man that doesn't want or that doesn't want one, and there are lots of relationships where people want it, and
Yeah.
once they have kids, and it's like it might be the other way around. The girl might start wanting, and then I need sleep. I can't do anything.
Yeah, I
Can
get
we
it.
just
That kind of conversation, and I know it's different for every person, every couple, but typically it tends to be like, oh, do you know what? Like I'd maybe like 3 kids or 4 kids, and the other partner, regardless of gender, might be like, oh, hold your horses. I have only ever really pictured having one in my life, and that's where you kind of negotiate as time goes on. You know, you have the one, and then hopefully if you decide, if you're lucky enough you have that one, and then if you decide down the line, do you know what, yeah, let's go for a second one, because people's minds change, don't they, like you said.
and also have you seen her? She has no sweet talking.
I mean, if I was faced with Tyson, I wouldn't be fucking sweet talking neither.
You don't have much
you
sweet
can
talk
you
either.
can take those beliefs and shove them up your ass, mate, because I ain't here for it. I'd be challenging him just as much as she is, if not more.
You know what really bothers me when it comes to people, Chris? You are punishing them for being honest. At what point do you say this is like self censorism? Like at what point do you say people cannot talk there?
I don't know, but the truth is bullshit.
What is bullshit about it? He knows he's masculine and he wants a feminine move. And masculinity and
Oh,
femininity are real.
he's
Wait,
masculine. He's a man, but he seems to act like he's the ultimate man and the most masculine being on the world. It's
it's
like, get
it's
over yourself,
charisma,
mate.
it's
It's not
ego.
charisma. It's
Some people wants
it's
to
giant
self boast.
ego, and he needs fucking chopping down at the knees so that he can get to grips with how
Gia,
people actually see him.
no, the thing is, it's boasting and it's all right. Gia
Oh,
talking
it's
about
tiresome.
her being playboy model.
She only brought that up once and dressed up once in the costume.
Yeah,
That's enough. Like,
yeah,
she
but
didn't boast.
I mean, we haven't seen her. She's giving a lot of content, but there is, that's what I'm talking about. Everything that he said is not something that you see from a man who is. Are there anything issues that needs to be worked on? Are there any, what do you say, unreal expectations? Take a guess. Every man and every, and he has that.
His seem to be far reaching.
What exactly is far reaching?
He
Tell
wants
me.
he wants a Stepford wife. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
And
remove
that
the submissiveness.
that
Remove the
Stepford
submissiveness.
wife.
Remove the
Yeah,
submissiveness. And what is wrong about it?
no, it stands Stepford wife.
And what is wrong with
It doesn't really exist in this day and
who
age.
said that?
It just
Trad
doesn't.
wife. Who's trad wife? No, let's
You
talk
said
about
remove the
it.
submissive from the scenario. So your
Trad
trad
wives, how
wife
do you know are
is
submissive? Like they
void.
look. See, the thing is, there is two types of submissiveness. Like trad wives, when they come out, they might look submissive. Are they submissive in their homes? Do you know that? Exactly. So let's. You have these judgments about this and that without understanding what is what.
Listen, call me Judge Judy and you're Judge Chai because we're both fucking judgmental as all get out, especially around certain issues. Because like everybody else in the world, we're human. We judge whether we mean to or not. We have our opinions. They don't always
No,
align,
what
and
I
that's
mean is
okay.
the problem with you is you do not have many friends. If you have many friends, you know there are tons of
Why are we
women.
talking about my friendships and my beliefs on a podcast about Married at First Sight?
Because if you have tons of friends, you will come across many women who would find that man attractive and want to.
Listen, I'm a double Aquarius. I am very mercurial. I am the biggest contradiction there is. I have a lot of friends, but you just don't see them as friends.
Well, they are like your friends are situationships, like colleague relation. Colleagues are not friends. Like you have a rapport because there is something you need to go to a place together or something. Beyond that, there is nothing hard to hide.
Listen, if I can't leave it 3 months, 6 months, 18 months between contact with a friend, and when I do reach out, I get nothing back, they weren't really a friend. If I reach out to them and they respond and things are good, the same as they were like 18 months previous, they're a friend. Great. I'll take it. That's just how my relationships work with my friends. And 9 times out of 10, it works out right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
I think that's enough for Married at First Sight. I think we've gone way, way,
way
way
beyond,
beyond.
way beyond, because masculinity and femininity is a real,
It's a real
whether,
thing and it's something that gets you really riled up.
because
Not
everybody
just
is
today.
so fucking, I don't know, it's one of those things. In the realm of relationships, masculinity and femininity is a thing we have seen in Married at First Sight in other places again and again talking about it. But the thing is, most people do not understand what femininity, and her talking about is a rate, like she's like, because I'm masculine, do I emasculate you or something? And I'm feeling like, imagine masculine and femininity are like sugar and water and all, and somebody wants to have sweet water and she's more water. It's saying it's a real thing. It's like pushing a straight man to be with a man and a gay man. How would you feel as?
Okay, I'm just going to take your word for it because I'll be perfectly honest, it's 11:30 at night and I'm losing my attention.
All right, let's, with
Okay,
that, let's end the show.
bye.